Oh, dude. That's so funny.
All right, there we go. Now you will
Thank
definitely
you.
hear
Hey,
audio.
thanks for the heads up. Hey, I appreciate it. And thanks for the follow a while ago. I know you followed us 21 days ago, but we didn't have the setup to see it yet. So thank you for that a while back.
All right,
Yeah,
let me
you missed some
see.
good talk too, Brian. Wow.
What do you mean?
This is
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's a 2 year anniversary and it's over because Brian's technical difficulties. I'm kidding.
I always have trouble spelling anniversary, so I think it'll be fine though.
As long as you remember your anniversary,
Yes, that is the most important one,
that
right?
is the most important thing.
Oops,
Yeah.
hold on. I want a better color on this. Pick light. There we go.
All right. Should we just get into this? Do you have
Yeah,
something to
well,
say?
I'm
You know
I'm
what you're gonna say?
playing I'm playing right now with this.
Okay.
See, I just have the like that thing is in the
Oh,
way.
Brian, that hair. Oh, hey, John. How you doing, man? Uh, thanks for the support and thanks for the question as well. We have your question all loaded up. You got a mop, Brian. That's what Keith's saying.
Oh yeah,
I like it. I
that's how
think
my hair
it's
just like
yeah.
is.
I like it. I like your hair.
Thank
I think
you.
I think we both have great hair.
I think so too. We are
It's all
blessed.
pretty much all we got going for us. So
So Comic Sans, right? That's the best font.
fuck that. All right, I'm not gonna drop any more f bombs. I'm putting it away now. Everybody's
Alrighty.
here to figure out if they won, right? I mean, I don't think Keith entered the contest, so I
Ooh.
don't think that's why he's here. But we will. I promise you, we will be doing the contest first.
Yes.
Like we're not gonna have you guys hang around till the end of the episode. I hate when people do that. They're like, stay till the end of the video to see who won our giveaway. And it's like, no, like, why can't you just tell us who won the giveaway, man? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You know, I was listening to that like moments ago. The episode, uh,
Well, with
the friendly neighborhood gamers.
it's so hard to keep track. I'm everywhere. Like, isn't it funny? I recorded that episode with more F words. Fuck yeah. Uh I recorded the episode with Tales from the Backlog, like when was that? April? March? And it hey, play along.
Oh,
Thanks for
there
the
we go.
follow.
It worked.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear it
Oh
on my
no.
end.
Okay,
No.
that's
But I
on my
see the
end.
little thing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, thanks. I'm guessing Jared. More F words. All right, this is it. The people wanted. I think we're a swearing
Oh
podcast now.
no.
I'm comfortable with it. We were talking about it before. I think Brian has been the one keeping us G rated. So he is the president of List
That's
Off. So the
true.
acting president.
See, this is true. All right,
Yeah.
that text will have to do for right now. I'll just get rid of the top 10 next time and then I can play with it.
And yeah, so what I was saying is we're gonna do the giveaway right off the bat because we're not like terrible YouTubers who will have you hang around to the end of the video just to see who won.
That's
I
right.
have it all ready to go. Uh, you guys can audit my entries later if you want to, but I could go through like Twitter side by side with my wheel to make sure everybody has the right amount of entries. But I work in finance. I do accounting for a living, and I went over it like 5 times, so it's right. I'm sure of it.
I need to just pull up the questions and then I'm ready to go if you're ready.
Cool. Hell yeah. I
Okay.
mean, fuck yeah.
No.
All right, Brian, you're the president.
Come on, Ryan. Darn you.
Well, I know on our channel we have the disclaimer, like you have to click to accept the adult content.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I can swear here.
Yes. I have kids here.
Well, sorry, Keith. You know from this end.
He
Yeah,
was like, this is a family
absolutely not
friendly
afraid
show.
of F words. Yeah, the only F word we use here is family.
And fun. And funky.
Funky Kong.
Oh
The stuff
no.
only. That's why I have the warning, is because you never know if like clothes
I
might come
mean,
off.
we do have an entire section for debriefing, so
All right, we could answer this question before we start. Toph's question. We will
Jeez.
never meet in the middle here, Toph, because we know what side of the fence we're each on. I don't think this is something that obviously, you know, he's a biker,
I
right?
mean, all of the official art and games and everything have him pinned as a surfer, so
Well,
I'm gonna
he's a
go with
surfer
that.
who dresses like a biker. We're good, and we're gonna do questions. We're gonna get the questions out of the way that were submitted prior, and then if there's time, we'll open it up to like live questions and
That's
stuff like
right.
that.
That's right.
All right, you want to start whenever you're ready, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Just have to. No, that didn't
Oh
work.
yeah, gotta crack your knuckles. Yeah, that helps you.
Everything does crack now, but yes.
Oh, jeez.
All right. This week, we celebrate our 2-year anniversary, and we are going to do an AMA, and we are going to announce a winner of our little 2-year anniversary Twitter-thon, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. We're giving away cash. That's the big
Yeah.
thing that we're doing. $100 cash on
Well,
whatever
not cash. Yeah.
cash that you can use on an approved platform that you tell us, and
Right.
we will give it to you. How's it going, Ryan?
Good, Brian. It's actually going great, man.
Yeah, I think
I
this is gonna
can't
be a
believe it.
little looser episode, right?
Hell yeah, it
We don't
is.
have a list. We have a list of questions
Yeah.
for the AMA, but it's less of a structured list that we're gonna go back and forth as much.
It's a celebration of our time together.
That's right.
Um,
That makes it
it's,
sound like this is a funeral, like this celebration of life.
maybe it is. Maybe
Yes.
this is the last episode of this.
No, don't say that.
Maybe I don't know. You never know.
But like you said off air, we want to announce that winner first and foremost so that people can know if they won and they're not sitting on pins and needles the entire time.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
I'm
go ahead and
I'm
get
gonna
it
turn it
ready.
over to you then.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Let me know when you're ready and I'll switch over to your screen.
I'm ready.
Okay, I see that. All
All
right,
right. Oh,
we
is
got
it
the
sharing the whole thing? Hold on, I gotta redo this. Hold on.
okay.
Nobody needs to see my desktop. All right, here we go.
There we go.
There
That's
we go.
better.
You ready? This is the list. These are all the names. Everybody gets the right amount of entries. One for Spotify, one for an Apple podcast review, and you got a third bonus entry if you retweeted the tweet. So let's find out, man. Are you ready?
Yeah. Do you need to explain your Sonic porn on your desktop? Keith wants to know.
Well, I mean, is it what's worth explaining there? Everybody has Sonic porn, right?
I mean, everyone has at
That's like
least
the
one.
most that's like the most tame thing
Yeah, yeah.
that they noticed on my
Oh
desktop.
my
So
gosh.
no, there's nothing to explain
That
there.
would have been so hilarious if your background was like Sonic and Shadow kissing.
I mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we ready? No further ado, no more jokes.
Okay.
Are we ready?
I think we're
Here we
ready.
go.
Spin that wheel.
Here we go.
Ooh, it makes
Oh man,
noise.
I know. This is big. This is
Oh
big.
man.
What? Oh my gosh, it's Zulgeek.
Zool Geek, the winner.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
my
So
goodness.
this is insane. I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing. This is insane because he actually doesn't have a Twitter. He is on a he's on a Discord server with me. And he had messaged me, DM'd me, and said, "Hey, I don't have a Twitter, but I left you a review. Here it is." And he sent me a screenshot, and I posted it to the tweet for him.
Nice.
And he ended up winning, man. Wow,
Sweet.
that is wild. That he had the one entry, and
Oh
he doesn't
wow.
even have a Twitter account. So that's incredible.
Very
That's
cool.
incredible, man.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations, Zool Geek. We will
yeah,
find
yeah.
out where they want that money.
I will DM him and let him know. I'll slide
Cool.
into his DMs with the best of news. That's like the news everybody wants. Disqualified. No way, man. No way. I can't believe it though. Guy with one entry won. Wow.
Yeah. That's awesome. That was a lot of entries too. I was happy to see all those names on there. So thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys, for reviewing
Yeah.
us. You all know how much that helps. So we really do
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's it means a lot to us. And hey, you can still review us even though the giveaway's over. There's just like less incentive to do so now.
Sure.
But every little bit counts for sure.
I'm so happy to see all these people in chat too. This is great. Like Ryan said, we're gonna do some questions, And then if you all have questions in the chat, we'll try to get through those as well. But we definitely have some prepared ones here from people online that got this in beforehand. So I think we're gonna skip that pre-flight checklist.
Yeah,
We have too big of a show to do to get into that. So
let's go for
you
it.
wanna do it? All
Let's
right,
do it.
let's do it.
All right, before we get into the questions, there was no fix. Twitter wasn't needed. The only thing that was needed was a reply to the tweet, and I did it for him. So you guys, I'm sorry. We be happy for the winner. Don't be too disappointed. We love each and every one of you.
That's right. That's right.
Just love the fact that you guys are even here.
I know.
That's
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
we love you all. All right. So let's get off with a proper list here. We have a list of questions. So I'll start here. We have
all right.
Friendly Neighborhood Gamers. They ask, who is your Smash main?
Yeah,
Big
so
question.
This is a good lead-in question though, because I feel like this is a casual one. Everybody has their favorite.
Right.
So for me, it's Toon Link actually.
Okay.
Which is not like a popular one. I've always just really liked the way Toon Link / Young Link in some of the older games moves in Smash, and I like his move set. I've never played it competitively. I've never been too good at Smash Brothers, so this was the character I always had fun with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, Toon Link is a good one for sure. The one that I have used the most and have done the best with is definitely Sheik. I used Sheik like all throughout my Melee days.
Really?
Like that was my go-to character for sure. Kept using her in Brawl, but wasn't as good, and I feel like I branched out way more when I got to Brawl. But the most hours, the most success I've had was with Sheik. She is a super light character, and I feel like not a great pick, but she had some really good meteor smashes that I always was able to stomp people with. So
very, very tricky. Yeah. Some good shout outs in chat here real quick. Isabel, which is the Animal Crossing.
Right.
And I agree. Somebody says Waluigi. Toph says Waluigi. I would play as Waluigi if he were in the game. That is like without question. We got Kirby and Donkey Kong, and Cloud and Ike. So Sword Boys are very popular in this game for sure.
I have to put it out there. Banjo and Kazooie for sure are a fun one, but I only bought them, played with them probably for like an hour, and then I think that was probably the last time I played Smash Ultimate. So yeah, not much there.
Yeah, very good. All right, so the next question comes from my father.
Oh.
I actually asked some family members to add questions here.
Nice.
And there are some good ones. This one's kind of basic, like way to go, Pops. What is the best game that has released in the time we've been podcasting?
That's a good question.
I think it's a good enough question.
Yeah. So from July 2020 until July 2022.
Yeah.
Man, I would have to think of what games have come out during then. I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 came out wait, no, that was
right
June.
Before.
Okay, so that's
right before. Yeah.
That's disqualified, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh man, what even has come out?
It is a good question.
Man, I feel like it.
So I have an answer if you want to think
probably my answer.
Yeah. That's my answer.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Well, I was trying to think what was my game of the year, kind of in the interim, and I hadn't played Returnal at that time, but now I have, and oh man, that one's definitely. Yeah, that's the one for sure.
I think it's the one for me too, and that's considering I've played through Elden Ring. I still think I got more enjoyment out of Returnal, and it's a game I would go back to before I go back to Elden Ring.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah.
Very
good. I guess it was a good question.
It was a good question. I like that. All right, so John from the VGL podcast, that's the Video Game Lounge. What does Ryan love so much about Brian? Oh wait, no. Love so much about games like The Last of Us 2, 1 and 2, God of War, and Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh my gosh, really? Do you think I love myself? Do I come off as a cocky person?
No. I said, what do you love about Brian?
Oh, well, I love everything about you.
There
Brian.
we go. Yes.
You're the only one who I chose as my co-host.
That's right. Caught that fish compliment. All right.
Yeah. Can I just go back to, so we got some good stuff in chat for the last question about the game that's released. Someone said The Last of Us 2 would be their pick. That was actually John
Yeah.
from the Video Game Lounge said that, and that doesn't count. It came out just before, or it probably would have been my pick.
Yeah.
We also got Ghost of Tsushima and Hades and Returnal. Jared says Returnal was fantastic. Just a lot of good games in these last few years. They're getting better.
Also,
Um,
Zool Geek is here.
he's here, the winner, the
Zool
winner.
Geek, you have
I
won.
know.
This is, yeah, breaking
Congratulations.
news.
Yeah, contact us, DM me on Discord, and I'll get it all set up where you want your gift card to.
Yeah, I should probably pay
uh,
you, Ryan,
you probably should.
to buy that. Yeah.
Actually, Zool Geek, DM me and I will ghost you and keep the money.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. So anyway, going back to the question, what I love so much about those types of games, it's so I don't, I like feeling emotion. I like getting emotion brought out of me that I don't normally experience in life. It's a reason I like scary games, or games that have compelling characters that you grow attached to. And I like that certain games aren't afraid to take risks with those characters and give them that emotional depth. I think The Last of Us is a perfect example where, you know, minor spoilers for the first one, you have a character you spend hours falling in love with, and then at the end they give you this action that person does that really makes you feel conflicted about it now. And I appreciate that. It gives you something to stew on. God of War 2018, I think, is an awesome example of taking a character in a new direction and adding that emotional depth. And as a father, I really related to that game. Ghost of Tsushima didn't hit as hard for me, but still really, really enjoyed the game. But how about you, Brian? Do you have an answer to this question? I could ask a follow-up question if that might
Yeah, I
be
mean, because
something that opens the
I'm
conversation a
gonna
little
echo
more.
pretty much everything you said. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, so I have no nothing to say there essentially. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, definitely the characters. You are definitely way higher on The Last of Us than I am. I love the game. I love the series, but it's one of those ones that I'm like, all right, I played it. I'm happy.
Wow.
I'll probably not play it like again, but it's a great game.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll play it again, honestly.
Brian doesn't like emotion.
I do like
Um,
emotion. I think something like God of War hits me more,
right.
just because everything was very subtle in that game, and then you get these major payoffs by the end. And I also became a father during that time, and like, yeah, it's crazy how that changes your life.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch Disney movies from the past now, and I have this different perspective, and it's like, oh my God, like that kid was in real danger, and I don't know how I'm
Yeah.
gonna handle this.
Yeah, no,
So
it's true. It does affect the way you like consume media, the way it affects you. So a follow up to that was, what do you like most about single player games, story, gameplay, immersive worlds, music? What is it that draws you in? Uh, yeah,
so yeah, single player games, those feel like a really good book,
right, right.
right? You know, you get to enjoy all of those aspects of it that make these things so artful. You know, story, huge thing. Gameplay is like king for me.
Right.
Um, yeah, music is a big one for me, as you know, Ryan.
Mm,
But all of those things kind of like coalesce into that art form that, you know, it's emulating something like a good story from a book, or a good just visual, you know, spectacle like a movie is.
yeah,
and
yeah.
and yeah, single player games do that so specifically that it's so much fun to just experience that.
Yeah, I would echo all of that. And it's, the games that you named, John, do it well. Not every game does, but those games kind of have all of those elements. Um, and it just, when it's that perfect mix, it could really draw you in. And I think one of the biggest things is characters who react in ways that are believable. Like they fit the character they built. And I think all those games do that sort of thing really well. Like Ghost of Tsushima, he's kind of going down a path that isn't natural for him, and they make it very evident every step of the way that he has these doubts about the path he's taking, right? And yeah, it just makes it more impactful when that sort of thing occurs.
For sure. All right. Question from Masked Keaton.
Yeah.
You are abducted by aliens and taken to live in a zoo. To make sure you aren't bored, they will provide you with one gaming system and all the games for it. Which one do you choose?
I love this question.
Okay.
um,
Great.
we're in space, so I mean, it's only natural that eventually we'd be abducted by aliens.
That's
So
right.
I would go with my favorite. I'd go with the GameCube.
Oh,
Like that would
wow.
that would be the one for
Okay.
me. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I think it has the best library. It's got the Resident Evil titles if I'm feeling like I need survival horror, and it's got Wind Waker
Yeah.
and
It's got a lot of Zeldas,
a
actually.
lot of Zeldas, a ton of Zeldas on it. All the way from 8-bit Zeldas all to that generation. So yeah, and the next, I guess, because it has Twilight
Yep,
Princess on
yep,
it
it
too, right?
does.
But yeah, I'd go with the
The
GameCube for
GameCube.
sure,
Okay.
like without hesitation.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a good one. My heart says the Switch, even though the Switch feels more and more like a thing that doesn't need to exist, which is weird to say. But yeah, I mean, I just love the catalog that is on the Switch right now, and it does have a lot of games that have come out on other consoles, albeit like last gen kind of things. But the fact that you can experience so many of those things is pretty cool. If they build out that like back catalog, that would be great too. So like, I mean, if that's not the reason why I would choose the Switch, I feel like the Switch exclusive library is strong enough on its own, but it is
Yeah,
bolstered by like you can do a lot of things with this, and if you hadn't played like any games on Nintendo ever, then yeah, Switch is it's everything.
yeah.
So
Part of me wanted to say the Series X because it just like you could play past Xbox generations on it too. I'm surprised you didn't go with like the Steam Deck or something like
see
that.
that
But
that super feels like cheating because it's like, well,
okay,
okay, that's just like all the computer games.
right, right. Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. So the next question comes from our friend Eric over at the Unlockables podcast, and I love this question too. Um, if lists ceased to exist, what would you do a podcast about?
If lists cease to exist, what would you do a podcast about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
Uh,
you prepared?
I mean, I read this one and was like, had things in my mind, but it still has to be about video games for me because I feel like that's my most like storied
Right.
hobby. I feel like I could do some movie stuff, but then I would
Yeah.
want to get a little more technical and like critical about it. Whereas games, I feel like I have a little leeway to have more fun with it
Right.
and speak from the heart rather than like from a technical mind.
Right.
But yeah, I would say it would still be about video games. In my industry for my career, I've actually thought about doing uh, a podcast. I don't feel like I have enough material to really go into that, so I don't think I've ever discussed it on the
About like running
podcast.
a store?
Right. So,
Oh,
well,
cool.
so
Yeah.
specifically for my industry, it's so I own a pet store with my wife, and yeah, we do like natural stuff, and we've been around for 22 years now, so that's something to celebrate.
It's pretty cool.
Um, but it would that has something that's been in the back of my mind because it doesn't exist really right now that I've seen, like kind of going over different products and that one I would need to get into the nitty gritty of like nutrition and
Right.
very technical things that I don't have like 100% you know
Right.
background on, but it
But you
would
could
still be
figure it
something.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, been running the store for a long time, so
Right. Right.
yeah. So
That's
that
cool.
that would be something that like would actually help me. This
That's
helps
cool.
me like, entertainment wise and like community wise, but like
I
it
don't know
doesn't
how to
help
take
me
that, Brian.
it doesn't help me get money, which is also important.
Wow.
So,
I don't know how to take this, Brian.
I'm just saying the podcast
This might
makes
be
me
the last
negative
episode.
money,
Brian's gonna leave and do a holistic animal
right?
podcast. uh, that's cool. I think that's the first time people get to find out about what you do. So
Yeah.
that's really, really
There's your
cool.
AMA.
Yeah, I think Zulgeek has a good answer. Venn diagrams of games,
Oh, yeah.
which actually, like, there's something there. There's definitely material there.
Just finding Venn diagrams between The Last of Us and Mario Odyssey.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for me, it would be probably comic books. I'd probably do a comic
Uh,
book podcast, but I had an idea of doing one specifically on comic book art, like to read through a comic book, but then go on a podcast, which probably would have to be like live streamed or some sort of video format and go over the art page by page. Um, we could start a Last of Us podcast. Yeah, we definitely can. And I think a part of me also would want to do a political podcast. I am not the most politically versed person, but I think having a podcast about it would be motivation to,
to learn.
immerse myself more in
Right.
that, which is good and bad.
That
The
sounds
reason
like
I
a.
tried, right.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the reason I try to separate myself from that sort of thing is for my mental health.
Yes.
So
That sounds awful.
yeah, but also like I feel like if I did a podcast that wasn't video gaming, I would want to make, or at least try to make, an impact in some way.
Right. Right.
So that's what I was going for with
Yeah.
that.
No, I like that.
All right, Brian. I don't know if you could answer this next question, but feel free. Feel free. This one comes from my wife,
Okay.
Stephanie.
Yes.
And she said, if she was a video game character, who would she be? I responded.
Man.
I responded to this message and I said,
You need to choose your words carefully.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, like, no pressure here, dude. But I do want to say, I think the unsung heroes of this show, are our wives and our family for allowing us to come on and do this every week without question, like have this time set aside. So on our 2-year anniversary, I definitely wanted to go ahead and mention them and say, like, even with like editing and stuff, my wife doesn't give me crap. She lets me like do this, and it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. So which video game character do you think she'd be?
Oh, man. That is a huge question.
It is.
Man. Well, Stephanie is very thoughtful. She is a great caregiver, I would say. I mean, just like hanging out with you guys are all about like your kid and family, and that's such a huge thing. Man, trying to think, like, this is a hard one.
Well, I have a few answers.
Okay. Why don't you give me a few answers, and then I'll pick what I think is the best one.
So I said, first I said Lara Croft, and I meant from like the reboots.
Okay, yeah.
Because she's actually an anthropology major. She likes like really digging into history. She's been on a few archaeological digs, and like she is a tough girl. Like, don't let her demeanor fool you. Like, I've seen her fight, and she's actually like, she's tough. So I would say Lara Croft, but I actually thought about it too, and I think I also think she kind of fits Aerith a little bit because she's a dreamer, but like a confident dreamer.
See, I was honestly in the Final Fantasy realm in my head for whatever reason.
Yeah, no, I could see it. So I would say out of the Final Fantasy characters I know, I would say Aerith, just because she is like spiritual and very much like puts herself is a dreamer, but she's like very like realistic about that and very confident in her how she feels about things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In the chat, Hi himself says, sounds like she is an Aloy.
Yeah, it's tough. I almost said Aloy, but also like I don't know, right? Like it's hard to.
Aloy is very really stubborn.
Yeah,
I don't. Stephanie's not stubborn.
Well, you don't live with her, buddy. You're a wizard and all those brownie points. Forget about it. But no, I just think it's hard because she also doesn't fight like giant mechanical dinosaurs.
Yeah,
so, hard to say Aloy. She's not a clone. I don't know. There's a lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's more of a Lara Croft, like murdering like scores of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dodging booby traps.
That's right.
Yeah. And then a follow-up question would be, if you could be any video game character, which one would you want to be? And this is realistically, not just because they're like your favorite character.
Okay. Man, which one would you want to be? I feel like I want to
read these questions.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I feel like I'd want to be Doom Guy. I want to be just like that jacked.
Oh my god, Brian just wants to crush like heads.
I want to be that jacked. Like that's my goal in life.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is not the answer I
No,
expected. You're
no.
so
You thought I was gonna
violent.
say like Mario or something?
I don't know. I
No.
didn't expect Doom Guy.
Yeah, I think Doom
Uh,
Guy is my pick. What about you?
wow. It's kind of cheating, but I would want to be Captain America, who was in a video game.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, obviously, like Spider-Man, yes, has better superpowers, and so does like the Hulk or Thor or whatever. But like, I've always liked Captain America, man. Just being a little bit better, you know. Oh, Cal Kestis is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is
you bring
from
up a
John
good
in
point.
chat.
I
I'd be,
feel like
Toph says he'd be Kirby.
Kirby. Then you could be anyone.
It's true. It's true.
I feel like all the characters on Earth on any media, like they there are video game characters. Like Captain America is a comic book character.
Fine, fair enough.
I feel like that everyone is slotted into something specific. So
Yeah, I do want to say real quick in the chat, play along pod said Luigi. Don't get the recognition for my hard work, but I could just ride the coattails of my brother's success. I actually, my wife said I specifically couldn't say Luigi
Oh.
because I like Luigi, so she would think I'm choosing him because I like Luigi. But
Oh.
I think if I have to be somebody who was made for the purpose of being in a video game, I mean, geez, it's hard. It's
Did you
really
even
hard
read
to
these
choose
questions,
this.
man?
Oh, I did, but I had an answer prepared.
Yes,
I said
yes.
Captain
Yeah,
America, and you deemed that unacceptable. So I'm gonna go with I'm kind of gonna go with Link.
I was thinking Link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like there's a lot to it, you know. It's not just being like, oh, the hero, but also having all those abilities. And I really like swords and shields and stuff. You know, it's cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
You don't have to talk.
Yeah, it's really simple. You know, just go wander Hyrule,
I
take
like
care
that.
of business. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So Goobs, is it Goobsy? Goobs?
It's Goobs.
Goobs.
It's Goobs.
Okay. Goobs from Secret Level says, your thing. Okay.
What?
It was hiding. I couldn't see
Your thing.
What video game franchise would you turn into an anime? Oh, jeez. Pick one that hasn't already been made. It hasn't been made already.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I would say there's quite a few I think that would make really good ones. I would Returnal already has the tentacles.
Man,
I mean, hey,
that
right?
would be cool. I would watch that.
I would watch a Returnal one, but I think my answer is actually going to be something like The Ascent. Because
Okay.
I think like we need a good cyberpunk anime right now. I
Yeah.
always liked Akira and you know some of the like some of those like 90s cyberpunk animes were ones that I really enjoyed. I don't watch a lot of current anime, so I would say The Ascent. I wanted to say Cyberpunk 2077, but like I won't. I'll say The Ascent instead because I think it also could have a very compelling storyline with like the hierarchy in that game. So that's the game I would watch if it were converted to anime.
Okay, I like it. I am not a big anime person, so I don't really know the like what makes an anime an anime. I've watched Pokemon. Does that count as an anime?
Yeah, Pokemon's an
Okay,
anime,
okay.
absolutely.
All right. How about Banjo Kazooie then? Would that fit in the style?
That'd be crazy.
Okay.
That'd be interesting to see for sure.
I feel
for
like
sure.
yeah, you could do some crazy like Jinjo stuff with
Right.
like I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
could
feel
be
like
fun.
there's some crazy stuff that could happen.
Absolutely. It'd be like more comical, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah. So we got some good answers in chat and one bad one. We got Uncharted, Kirby, The Legend of Zelda, which would be a good one. And apparently they're making a cyberpunk anime for Netflix. I did not know that. But the one bad one was Knack.
Knack. Oh jeez. Have you ever played Knack, Ryan?
No, I've never played it, but it's memeable, you know?
Yeah. Knack
yeah.
2. Man. Oh, Conquer's Bad Fur Day. That would go some places.
Yeah. So apparently, Knack people now want Knack 3 just to be an anime instead of a game.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like that.
Very good. Very good. All right. So the next question is from Mikey Tabletop from Big Drink Energy. I love this guy. I had a great time sitting down with him on a show. And he says, I'm sure you've been told that Brian and Ryan are fairly similar names. What? Wait, hold on. What? If you could rename your co host, what would you name them? What would you call them? He says.
Okay. I've got an answer.
I'd call you. I'll call you do. Wow. Okay. Okay. What's the answer?
I would rename you Jeff so that you can.
Why Jeff?
Because then you could be in the consortium of Jeffs that inhabit the video game industry. There's so many Jeffs out there, and it would just add to the confusion.
Oh yeah, like Jeff Grubb,
Jeff Grubb, Jeff Backlard,
Kanata.
Jeff Kanata, Jeff Keeley.
Okay. Jeff Keeley.
Yeah.
I could be but then I might just be another Jeff talking about video games.
Yeah,
I am
but
so
then-
sorry if there's any Jeffs out there talking about video games.
But then you could be part of, like, they are a governing body, I feel like, in video game land.
Okay.
And you could be that insider.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I might steal Toph's answer here. He says, "Daddy."
Jeez. Could you imagine if we...
I'd rename you Daddy.
Wow, okay.
Yes, Daddy. No, I would. I'd probably rename you Brain
Okay.
instead
People
of
do that all
Brian.
the time
Instead
because
of Brian.
every email I ever get is Brain. Like, people don't understand how to write my name.
Like how is that a thing?
The two big ones I get on emails is Zulgeek. All right.
Hey, thank you for the follow.
Yeah. The two that I get are Brain and Asian, because Asian autocorrects from Brian. I guess,
interesting. Yeah, interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for the follow, Zulgeek. It's really the least you could do. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh.
We're gonna give you $100 here, buddy.
That's right.
So,
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
One funny anecdote to that. I went out with a girl in high school for, like, I don't know, a handful of dates, and then this was when texting was, like, just becoming a thing, I guess, and like it wasn't gonna go anywhere, so, like, we, like, kind of called it off. And then I remember her last text to me was,
This was in high school.
this was in high school, yes.
Wow.
Her last text to me was something like, "Hey, Asian," and then just, like, she went on this whole thing, like, yeah, yada yada yada. But I was like, man, you didn't even, like, spell check your texts to me.
Well,
so how are you gonna do me like that?
It was over though.
It was
So,
over, totally.
no big deal. And seriously, I was kidding about the thanks for the follow. It's the least you can do. Like, thank you for the follow.
We
That
appreciate it.
It
very,
means a
very
ton
much.
to us. Yeah,
Yes.
it does mean a ton to us.
Thanks, Daddy.
Yeah. All right, Daddy, you're next.
We are two dads, so it makes sense.
We are. Hey.
Okay, we are here. Okay. Yes, Dave. Every time you put your cursor there, I can't read it anymore. So, Dave from Tales from the Backlog. Ryan, what game would you destroy Brian in, and vice versa?
All right, so my answer is most of them.
You are very good at video games.
But I would say, obviously, we know the answer to this, right?
You would
It's
destroy
Mario
me
Kart.
in Mario Kart for sure. Like, no
Like,
question.
Without question.
There's I cannot win against you in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I don't think I could probably play you 100 times and win all 100 times.
Yeah.
Without question. Like,
Sure.
I have no doubt in that.
I'm
sorry, Brian, I
wholeheartedly
love you.
agree.
Yeah.
No, I don't take any offense to that. I think you are a very good Mario Kart player, and I am a very bad Mario Kart player. So, Diddy Kong Racing, I don't know. No, you'd still beat me there.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't played it in like decades.
What would I destroy you in?
I know a game you would destroy me in, but we'll see what you come up with.
I mean, my thoughts are like Super Smash Brothers, but I've never played you in Super Smash Brothers. But I feel like I'm pretty good.
You probably, I don't know if you'd destroy me. You'd definitely beat me in
Right.
Super Smash Brothers without question. I know one you would probably destroy me in though.
StarCraft.
Probably StarCraft too. Yeah, here I am saying most, but like there's two, and it's not even the one I'm thinking of. I'm
Okay.
thinking of Halo.
Hey,
You'd
I was
destroy me in
thinking
Halo.
some first-person shooter. Yeah, Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could work you there. Perfect
Yeah.
Dark. That would be mine. Like, if you and I went head-to-head Perfect Dark, I would absolutely destroy you.
We might have to do that someday.
Okay, how do you... If we're talking about an N64 controller,
Mhm.
what control scheme are you using?
I'm using 1.2, whatever, dude. How do I remember? It was like 96.
So how do you move? Do you move with the joystick or do you move with the C
No,
buttons?
you look with the joystick.
Okay, so you're moving with the C buttons.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, at least you got that down. So I might not be able to destroy you in that. Okay.
I know I was good at GoldenEye. I probably you might beat me in Perfect Dark. So
Sure, sure.
same engine though, same engine.
It is.
Uh, but next question is from Bits of Time. If you had to eat a console,
Uh-huh.
which one would be the easiest to finish? If you had to
Oh,
digest a video game console.
man.
I know,
Jeez.
right? It's like I don't want any piece of
I
this.
mean, it's got to be the smallest one, I feel like.
I feel like maybe, yeah.
But
I have two answers,
but so but a Switch has like a screen. I don't want to eat a screen. I feel like that's
all of
got
them. Well, that's true. Not
chemicals,
all of
you
them have
know?
screens. Yeah, probably chemicals.
Like a PS1, I guess.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
Maybe a Dreamcast.
See, so go into chat. That's my answer. If we can count handhelds, Play Along Pod has the answer I would pick. It's Game Boy Micro. It's the smallest thing.
I mean, but there's a screen on that. I feel like the screen has like liquid crystal, whatever nonsense that's gonna
That's
kill you
true.
immediately.
Probably. Well, I mean, you're probably gonna die if you eat any
Yeah,
game
yeah.
console. But
What transistors and stuff.
I saw a little thing. It's the world's smallest gaming console. It's called Thummy. It's like this big, and it exists. It's a real thing. And I found it because I was looking up for this question what the world's smallest gaming console is. But
even if you ate that, it would be very problematic for your digestive system,
Yeah,
and you would have to
yeah.
get surgery.
all of it would be. But
Yeah.
I would say so what was your answer? What was your final answer?
Let's say the PS1,
PS1.
Yeah.
Okay.
like
Mine
the
would
PS1, the
yeah,
redesign.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Mine would probably be the SNES. But I also think I would maybe do the Atari Jaguar because it kind of looks like a burger.
Okay.
So, I could maybe like put on rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PS1 Classic is so small. It's right here. The SNES Classic, SNES, if that counts, is small too. So I'll do the Classic if I can.
Perfect. No one's saying Xbox. Okay.
No. Gosh. Be there for a while.
That's right. All right, friendly neighborhood gamers. Another question here. Do you think there's even a chance that some other game beats Elden Ring for Game of the Year? Absolutely.
I totally agree with you. I think,
Wholeheartedly.
yeah, I don't know if Elden Ring will be my game of the year. Spoiler alert, but like I'm not so sure about that. I played through it. I love it. Actually, an episode I did on it just released today.
Yeah.
But we're getting God of War Ragnarok.
We're getting
this year
God
now.
of War. Yeah, that I was gonna say that we now have confirmation that is this year, and that will definitely. I'm not saying it's gonna be the best, but it is one that will contend with Elden Ring and others for sure.
And it could still be delayed. I mean, to be fair,
There's no way. Corey said no. It's coming.
All right. Well, I've also lived on this earth long enough to know. It could still be delayed.
Yeah. I feel like PlayStation is going to strike. I mean, Xbox has nothing coming out this holiday.
Yeah.
Nintendo has like Pokemon and Mario and Rabbids. Like they have enough stuff that they pump out.
And I can guarantee there's going to be a game people don't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be one that like hits big. And I also think we're getting Callisto Protocol this year, right? Is Midnight Suns this year or next year? I can't remember.
Oh gosh, I think it's this year, but I could be
If
wrong.
it's this year, like that's another big hitter. There's a lot of good games. The Dead Space remake, which we haven't heard much about. I doubt it's 2022 still, but I think that is still technically it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of competition coming, and I can't really say that it will be without question the game of the year. I think a lot of outlets it's going to be a shoo-in.
Oh, for sure.
But
I feel like Horizon's gonna win some out there.
Yeah, probably. I keep forgetting about Horizon because I haven't played it.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if it's at this point it's mine probably, but I don't know if it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a good question.
Yeah. The next question is from my mom. She says, "When are you going to come visit me?"
Ooh. I don't want to answer this for myself. So
I think this was unrelated. I don't know how that got in there. I think it was
delete that one.
unrelated. Yeah, let me just take that
Okay.
one out. I did. I was like, oh, Brian's gonna have to answer this.
I could
So
answer it for you, but I don't want to answer it for me.
yeah, I actually don't know when I'm gonna go visit her, so
Yeah.
let's not answer it. But Toph brings up a game that almost assuredly won't win Game of the Year 2022, and that's Sonic Frontiers.
What? You haven't played it yet, man. You don't know. That could be the one. You
Okay.
said yourself there could be one that we don't know enough about that's gonna just sweep the awards.
Yeah. All right, we are now in the Keith from the main quest section.
There's a section
Yeah, there's a
dedicated.
section.
He just
So we're going to
kept
do these
asking questions.
kind of quickly. Yeah. So the first question I think will determine where we stand as friends, Brian.
Uh-huh.
It's corn or limp biscuit.
So I love music, but I don't know artists too well. So I'm gonna say
Did you?
Limp Bizkit.
So you did it all for the nookie, you're saying. That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't even know what that
I,
means.
I'm going I would say corn.
Okay.
I think corn is the better
I
band.
can name 0 songs from either, so take that as you
Wow.
will.
Got the life from corn. Anyway, rum dum ba doo da ba dee ba da ba. That's
I've heard
corn. You
that
know that
song.
one? Yeah, that's
Yes.
a good one, right? I'm gonna say corn, like without a doubt. Limp Bizkit did have some good early stuff, like
What
that
is the song from them?
their version of Faith. They did like a remake, like of George Michael's Faith. Um, and then they did a few others, but it's corn for me. It doesn't,
Okay.
we'll move to the next question.
Okay.
I guess we're still friends. I guess we're still
Okay.
friends.
Mostly just
Um,
from ignorance that I don't know artists.
and I agree with John from Video Game Lounge. The Rage Against the Machine is 100% better
Than either
than
of
both
those.
of these bands. Yes, I would take Rage Against the Machine over both of them. I was more of like a Rage or System of a Down kind of guy. So
Yeah.
Corner Limp Biscuit, I could really leave them both out there to perish.
Thank you, play
Uh,
along. Yes, they say I am terrible with trying to remember names of artists or songs. That
yeah,
is me. I can do it for the soundtracks and the video
right,
games, but
right.
not like singing music.
We actually talked about like what other types of lists we could eventually transition into, and we determined we can't do music
We
lists
cannot do
because
music.
Brian doesn't remember anything.
We can't.
Yeah,
It would be impossible.
right, right. So I'll real quick go into the next question. Which fighting tournament would you rather find yourself in, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Okay, I feel like there's an obvious answer to this one.
What is it?
If you want to live, you want to be in Street Fighter, right? Because you're dealing with like demons from another dimension in Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
yeah. Or like, but none of these characters in Mortal Kombat really seem to die. I guess in the more recent ones, they do have like permadeath where they don't come back as far as the story goes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Street Fighter too because like I don't like dying in gruesome ways, but like you picked Doom Guy earlier. So do you like killing people in gruesome ways? Because you don't get to do that in Street Fighter.
But see, the thing is, Doom Guy is like he is the demon that all of the people or creatures from hell are scared of. So I wouldn't be scared in that instance. In Mortal Kombat, I'd be scared that Reptile's gonna vomit on my leg and then rip my spine out.
It's true. It's
So
true.
that wouldn't
I
be
get
good.
you. I get you. But being Sub-Zero would be cool.
Plus, yeah, that would be cool actually. Uh, the follow up question here, there's the chance of this. Whose thighs would you rather die in, Chun Li's or Cammy's?
So,
Uh,
what's your
I
answer?
guess probably Chun Li. That seems like a good answer.
Yeah, my answer is Chun-Li. Like Cammy's not all that. Chun-Li's all that. But actually, if I were to pick a Street Fighter character whose thighs I would die in, I would die in R Mika's. Rainbow Mika would be the character I'd choose. So
I don't
there you
know
go.
that character.
Look it up.
Okay, I should. The only other character I'm thinking, and it's completely unrelated to these, is Xenia Onatop because that's how she like actually kills
That
people,
was how she killed people. That's right. That was like her whole method.
right?
Um, and then if our podcast was a scented candle, what would it smell like?
Oh, I have a great answer for this. hummingbird. That would be a great
A
scent.
s so it smells like the hummingbird?
Yeah, hummingbird. You know, just a hummingbird scent. I think my real answer. We sell hummingbird candles. Like that's a scent,
Oh,
and I like people ask me to describe it. And I'm like, just smell it. Like I don't know what you want me to
right.
say.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here's the real answer. It would be like new electronic smell. Like when you open up like a new video game or console. Like I love
Hmm.
that new electronic smell so much.
Yeah. That's pretty good. S- We have a chat saying sweaty palms.
Okay.
I also think you know how if you have you ever tried the SD card for the Switch? Have you ever like put it in your mouth and tasted it?
No, I took Nintendo's advice and did not do that because of the bitter
Right.
taste.
So I didn't do it either, but I've seen reactions to it, and I'm
Uh,
willing to bet that's what our podcast would smell
oh
like.
God. I think of like bitter apple or something.
Right, like acid, just like pure acid. Uh, so yeah, people have done it. They don't taste good.
Yeah. So the
Uh,
sweat to the sweaty palms point. Did you ever have one of those controllers that had the fans built into it so you would like dry out your hands? Because I did, and
no,
it broke like pretty much immediately. It
no.
did not work very well.
Yeah, I could see that being an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a big power drain too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So Brian, this is the final Keith from the main quest question.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to ask it?
Oh yeah, no, more than anything. Okay. Is getting pegged just the inverted controls for sex?
Well, I have an
Um,
answer for this.
okay, yeah. What? Please go ahead. I read the question. You have the honor of answering it.
Um, you'll have to ask Brian
Oh,
because I don't
jeez.
play with inverted controls.
Okay, perfect. Moving on. I have a few questions here.
Oh,
I don't know what you want me to say.
well, I don't know either, but I would think the inverted controls for sex would be like upside down boners or something. You know, like I don't think that's quite it.
Okay.
That's that's like still sex, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Like it's just some people choose to have it that way. That's cool. Like, do your thing, man.
That's right.
Like,
That's
who am
right.
I to judge?
Also, what you just mentioned like physically hurts me. I don't want to think about that.
Like an inverted. Oh, okay. I'll
All
stop.
right. All
I'll
right.
stop.
So I had a few questions here. Where are we getting our tattoo for list off? Not like
Um,
which tattoo parlor, but where on the
right.
body.
Are we getting it in the same place?
Well, so we joked about it last episode, I think, and I
You
said
said your butt,
my butt.
and I said the middle of my
Yeah,
chest.
like Iron Man.
Hell yeah. That'd be
Uh,
cool, actually.
it would be
So
cool.
I would do like the back of my calf. We could choose, like, you get your
Yeah.
left leg, I get my right leg, or
Oh
like
yeah.
something like that would be
Then
cool,
when we
you
put our
know?
legs together, they like form the whole logo.
Because we spend so much time with our legs together. Uh, no, I think like if you have it on one leg and I have it on the other, it doesn't have to be like friendship bracelets, you know? Like that would be cool, but I'm not sure yet. You know, I got 3 more years to figure it out. We're not
Yeah.
even halfway to it. So
What I'm gonna do
um,
is get tattoos all over my body and just leave a little circle for where the list off tattoo goes. So I will make the decision for us.
really,
Yes.
wow.
And it's gonna be my butt still.
It's not gonna be on my butt. I'm not tattooing my butt. That just doesn't sound appealing to me. Funny story though, when I was in the Coast Guard, there was a guy who had his butt tattooed.
What did it say, or what
It,
was it
it
a
was a
picture of?
big butterfly.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, yeah. So if you're curious how I knew this,
Oh, jeez.
there was like a hazing process whenever you cross these imaginary lines on the water,
Oh,
like the
jeez.
equator or the
I am
Arctic
not cut out
Circle.
for the military.
No, like you cross the equator. There's like this big ceremony. It takes place over a number of days. But this was when I was crossing the Arctic Circle, and they did it when we were headed up north. And it's like, yeah, hazing ritual and blah blah blah. And part of it is this talent show. So for the talent show, he was like doing a performance, and just like at the end of it, like pulled his pants down and showed everybody his butterfly tattoo. So there you
Okay,
go.
how many times did you see someone's butt in the Coast Guard? That couldn't have been the only time.
I mean, it wasn't the only time. but like it didn't happen as often as you think. You
Okay.
know, it wasn't like we were like the big showers, the big like barrack showers is
Uh-huh.
really only in boot camp and basic training. Outside of that, it was like I rarely saw male butts.
Now, did you ever like swim out in the far, far ocean? Like jump
Yeah,
off the boat and
hundreds of
wow,
miles out to sea.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. I
I
actually
would
got
be too
stung.
scared.
I actually got stung on my face by a jellyfish
Wow.
out there because like a wave lapped up and it like got me. Oh,
Wow.
it hurt so bad. And all day my face was swollen from the jellyfish sting, and everybody was like, oh, the joke, right? Like, I'll pee on that for you. Like, I'll make it feel better. I was like, yeah, all right, dude. You're like the 20th person to say that to me.
Right. Uh,
Anyway, there's a little sea
so
story for
there's
you.
there's your podcast, the Ryan's Coast Guard Adventures. I feel like that would be a good podcast for you.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
call it sea stories or something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
So do you have another question?
I did. How will you introduce gaming to your son? I know you've already introduced him to gaming, but like kind of like all media, like movies. Like, what's your Star Wars plan?
I'm not
Do you
gonna
have one?
spoil anything. I have a viewing order.
Okay, what's the viewing order?
So you
We may
watch,
have talked about this, but
yeah. So you watch A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, right?
hmm
So spoiler alert, you get the whole "I am your father" reveal
yeah, because
organically,
that's the
right?
most important reveal
Right.
to like save, right?
Right,
Okay.
100%. So you watch those two right off the bat. So the reveal happens, and then you go back before you watch Return of the Jedi. You go back to the prequels and watch those,
Okay.
because then you see how like his father fell from grace and became
Oh.
Vader. Right, you get that backstory going in to Return of the Jedi,
Ah.
which is like the capstone for it all.
Okay.
So now you
So
get you get to see like his ultimate descent into evil, and then the final cap is like his redemption,
that's
Vader's
interesting.
redemption.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So do you pepper in all of the in-betweens like Obi-Wan and
I feel like that's supplementary. You can
okay.
kind of watch them after that. That's what I have planned right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know age wise. I'm thinking like 6 is a good
Yeah,
age for him.
I looked it up and they're like, yeah, a lot of people say like six or
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I feel like that's when I watched it, honestly. I remember like being in first grade and like doing the Darth Vader voice. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So you had him watch Lightyear, which surprised me. My son has a hard time sitting through an entire movie. That really like
Oh,
surprised me. But
he can sit through movies, but yeah, this was
yeah.
the first theater experience and he did really well, so.
Yeah, I just want to say in chat, Colby, hey man, thanks for joining us. Happy you're here. He says start and end with Rogue One. He'll be too scared of Darth Vader to watch anything after,
Oh,
and that is
jeez.
the truth. I think I would say Rogue One's kind of. I'd wait till he was like 9 or 10 probably for that one. It's a little more serious than these other ones, and like it doesn't end well either. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Man,
Uh,
I can't even like imagine like the Marvel. What do you do with Marvel at this point? Do you just start from Iron Man and go
Iron
forward?
Man, yeah. I
Uh,
mean, yeah, you got them all, right? Like on Disney Plus. So
yeah,
except for the Spider-Man, I mean, whatever. Enjoy them. The good thing with Marvel is you could kind of watch them independently of each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
There is an overarching thing,
Right.
but it's not as important as like Star Wars, I think.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions for you, Brian.
Oh.
Uh, which video game character best represents me?
Oh, jeez. Ah. This one I did not read, so I don't have a good prepared answer for you.
That's all right.
Hmm. Co-host, video game character. Ah. I feel like you're a solid like Garrus, which I know you don't have too much background in, but it's a
Is that
compliment.
the alien everybody thirsts after in
Yes,
Mass Effect?
yes,
Hell yeah, I'll
exactly.
take
So
that. I'll
he's
definitely
like
take that.
he's like one of the best snipers. But he's like yeah, he's got your back. I feel like that's the thing that comes
Oh,
to
thanks,
mind
man.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like yeah, he is throughout the whole thing with you, and yeah, you wouldn't want anyone else as a co-pilot. So yeah,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
Garrus is a good pick. Yeah, there's other ones like more to you specifically, but I feel like Garrus has a lot of good qualities. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
would take that for sure. Oh wow, this is astonishing. Jared I'm assuming Jared Play Along Pod gave me the best compliment I could ever have in my life. Actually, I'm the Kim Kitsuragi of co-host. That like
Is that the guy from
Disco
Disco
Elysium, man.
Elysium? He was
Yeah,
annoying. Okay, so I've only played the like hour.
he keeps you straight though.
Okay, he
He tells
does.
you what you need to hear.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I like about you is you're one of those people. I would go like work out with you because you would be like, Brian, we're working out today. Like, don't make an excuse. You would keep me like doing it. You know.
Oh, thanks, man. Wow, this is like getting me emotional here, brother. Uh, so John says you're Brian's Otacon from Metal Gear
Is that
Solid.
like a guy in the chair?
It's the guy in the chair, but
Okay.
he pees himself a lot, so I'm not going to say Otacon. I'm not going to say Otacon. I would say, yeah, like I actually think you're kind of Kim Kitsuragi. Like, you just want people to be good, you know.
Yes.
I would say, going back to I think a suggestion John said earlier was Cal Kestis. I would say you're Cal Kestis, man.
Yeah.
Like you know, you're definitely on the side of good. Um, you're not like chaotic good either. You're very like straightforward
Yeah.
and fair, and yeah, you're like a crusader for justice,
I
man.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So what is the one game you can't wait to see your son experience?
Oh man. I feel like I want him to have a similar like Zelda reverence that I do because I feel like that is just the series that it has it all.
Mhm.
It is that adventure. It is that score. It you know, there's just so much about that series that I really love, and it's one of those first game experiences that made me say like, hey, this is what makes video games great, and I want him to like have that same trajectory. um and I don't know what, like there's an order that I don't know what you do. I feel like A Link to the Past is a good starter,
Definitely.
and
Yeah.
then like go from there.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
It's good.
that's a tough question for sure.
It is a tough one, 100%. I think like starting out with Mario is a good thing.
Totally.
Um, I do think Zelda is the answer for me as well. I would probably start with A Link to the Past, and the one I really want to see my son experience though is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's the one I'd really really want
I
to
think
see.
you have to work up to that though.
Right. That's why I would do like Link to the Past first, maybe even like Link's Awakening after
Sure.
that, kind of have him experience a few Zeldas first and then play something like Ocarina of Time to just see if I could replicate the feeling it gave me.
That's impossible, but yes, that would be cool.
Yeah. Um, good answers from chat. Toph says he's excited to have his kids play Mega Man to learn through pain like their father before them.
Oh,
And
jeez.
that's very true. Very true. And
Playing,
hey, Andrew, what's up,
playing,
man? Thanks for
playing Mega
joining us.
Man like on a Game Boy. That's the real frustration.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
do-
Tetris is a good kind of starter game too.
But like, can you not wait till your kid plays Tetris?
Right, like sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I don't think that's one of those games. I do agree also with Andrew's pick here in chat, Wind Waker. Yeah. For me, it was definitely Ocarina of Time prior to Wind Waker. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game. So of course I cannot wait till my son is able to play it.
Yeah.
But I think I would introduce him to Wind Waker first. Yeah.
I feel like Wind Waker benefits more from having a past with Zelda.
Yeah.
So like I mean it kind of goes just from the beginning. I think you can kind of not start with Zelda 1 and 2, and that's why I say A Link to the Past seems like a good starting point.
Absolutely. So Colby real quick too says if my theoretical and hopeful future son enjoys Final Fantasy VII Remake or Breath of the Wild, that's honestly all I need.
Perfect.
And those are both great picks. Or have him play Pokemon Sword and Shield. And if he likes that, I'll say now play the good ones.
Jeez.
Shots fired.
Yeah, man. Well, those are all the questions that
That's
we
it.
have from our list because we are list off. But if there are other questions from the chat, then we would love to hear those too.
Yeah. In the meantime, while we're
Yes.
waiting for those to pop up, Brian, I'm not going to get emotional,
Uh
but having this creative outlet for the last, I am getting emotional. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? Seriously though, like having this creative outlet for the last 2 years with you has meant the world to me, man.
Yeah.
And
Same here.
yeah, there's like, I get so much out of it that I didn't know I was missing prior to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I
It
really, really
fills a
appreciate
hole you
doing
didn't
this.
know was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's true, man. I just love having the opportunity to like talk about video games and the fact that like all you people show up or tune in to hear it just means so much to me, man.
Yeah.
What's the last game that made you cry? Well, I did just get choked up a little bit. So the game of life.
Well, so before we get to that question,
Mhm.
I know that we've talked about on other episodes and probably other podcasts like how we met and how we started doing what we're doing now, but I mean I knew like my wife was the one who met you and you
Right.
guys introduced before I even knew you,
Yeah.
but it definitely felt like all right, yeah, this I'm gonna make this guy my friend, like we're gonna be good friends, and
Yeah.
it felt right, and yeah, we
Yeah.
knew there was a good future ahead of us with that. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's such a cool thing because think of what we would have missed. Like I moved away right after we were starting to get this moving.
right,
And now I feel like you're one of my best friends, like one of the
yeah,
best friends I've ever had. And it's because
totally,
of this that we get to talk every week. And like, yeah, I'm just glad it happened, man.
me
Very,
too.
very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool. Thanks, Brian.
that's like fate and universe
Right?
stuff. Like that's wild.
It is
Oh,
wild. It is wild. Cause like, what if, Kayla never said hi?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
And
like
yeah,
so many
yeah.
different variables there.
True. All right. So we have questions from the chat now.
Yes.
They're adding up, and we definitely appreciate you guys putting them in there. I'll start with the first one. It's from Some Toph. What's the last game that made you cry?
That's a good question. I know the last like show that made me cry was Kenobi. there's
Wow,
there's some
really?
moments
Wow.
in there. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think
At the
I
end.
got choked up at the I'm sorry moment.
Hmm.
Like that was like, oh yeah, that got
Yeah.
me. Got me.
Mine was more the Leia stuff, but yes. The last game. I feel like Zelda honestly does a good job of it because when things are in line and when that music's hitting and
Yeah.
when just like I don't know, there's like so many things that like come together in a Zelda game that it just like elicits emotion for me.
Hmm.
And I fully admit music like will get me there super quickly. And if I just hear like certain songs, it'll like start that up in me. And I know this because I've no, I've told you I've gone to like video games live where they do the orchestrations of video games playing in the background, and like they'll play Chrono Trigger, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
oh man,
Yeah.
here it
Yeah.
comes, and it's just like that. It really is a sweeping feeling.
Yeah.
So any game with like really good music does that for me, and I feel like Zelda's. I can't even name like one Zelda that did that to me recently, but any game that does that is up there for me.
Yeah. I'd say recent ones that come to mind. I don't know the last one, but The Last of Us Part Two.
Hmm.
I
I can see
think
that.
God of War because I had my son.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, there were parts in that where like you're fearing for Atreus, and it's like, gosh, got me. And then actually, like recently, I didn't cry, but it did get me feeling emotional. Was actually Resident Evil Village, and it's, a big part is because I have a kid. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you can imagine, his. It starts right off the bat. It's in the trailer. His kid gets taken from him,
Sure.
and there's a lot of like what happened to his kid going on and implications, and it just like it gets me because my kid's out of town when I'm playing it too, and I'm just like, oh yeah,
Right.
got me in a bad spot. But if you want to ask the next question?
Yeah. So Hi himself says, "What type of mic does Ryan use?
I use the same type Brian uses,
Okay.
believe it or not. It is a Fifine?
Five fine?
15?
Fifini?
Fifini? Fafine? It's just perfectly fine.
It's like
The
Amazon's
reason, yeah,
$20 mic.
the reason mine looks different is because I have this. I was getting an echo in the room I'm in, so I got this big like sound dampener right here, and it's just this big encasement that goes around the mic that has like soundproofing on it. So yeah, it allows it really reduces that echo. There were a few episodes there where it sounded awful.
And the mic that I had been using prior was a pair of Apple earphones,
Yeah.
not even like AirPods. So
No,
I've upgraded my rig a little bit.
yeah. And then the next question from John, it's John from Video Game Lounge,
Uh-huh.
and he says, how old are both of you?
Are you disinclined to acquiesce to that request?
No, no, no. I'll totally answer. Age is but a number, my friend, and my number is 41. As of the 4th of July,
That's
I
right.
turned 41. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I am 34.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
88.
I didn't realize I was that much older than you. You're as old as my wife.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. There you go. I'm all man. I'm all man.
All right. Play along pod. What's your least favorite genre of games? Oh, this is easy.
What's yours?
I would say sports. I do
Wow.
not like sports games at all.
None? Like no sports
I
games?
mean, I'll play a Mario Tennis, but that is like the extent that I will endure
Right,
that genre.
right.
Does Tony Hawk count as a sports game? That's extreme
Yes,
sports.
but it's
Okay.
still
Well,
sports.
that's what I would play. Also, like yeah, any sort of like fishing or Cabela's or like any of those
Yeah,
things.
those are pretty
I
rough.
don't like that.
Um, I'm gonna actually maybe I mean I don't play sports games, but like I think I could have a good time with sports games. Are racing games sports games? I
I feel
like
like they're
racing games.
racing games.
Yeah, that's true. Gosh, I guess that would be it. But other ones I'm like really not in the mood for lately are like JRPGs.
Yeah, that one is a time and mood for sure.
Exactly. I feel like I can do one a year maybe. And it's like, oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
JRPGs are a lot, man. And I understand that's like a really unpopular opinion there. So please stick around. If you don't hate me already.
Colby's gonna have some words, I think.
Yeah. And then Andrew asks, what's your guilty pleasure game?
Hmm.
Oh, on it, I mean, I think mine, I don't know, like define guilty pleasure. Is it a game that like people don't like but we like? Because I have a game that's like my go-to when I
I mean, I
want
feel
to.
like a guilty pleasure is like something you're kind of ashamed to admit that you enjoy.
Okay,
So,
okay,
because that's what it is for like movies and books
right.
and stuff, right? Oh man, I feel like games haven't entered this this arena so much. Uh, I don't know. I feel like the thing that's coming to mind is the like Satisfactories of the worlds, the like
Yeah,
chore games where you're just doing like I love those. I love them so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Um, but I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure so much.
yeah.
Maybe Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure.
Oh, that's probably a guilty
That's a
pleasure.
guilty
I would
pleasure, right?
qualify that as a guilty
Oh
pleasure.
man, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. I don't. It's hard for me to think about this. I think games I enjoy tend to be games people play. Um, Gosh, the only game that comes to mind is something like Chivalry 2. You don't hear a lot of people talk about.
So I was gonna say something like that or Overwatch, where it's like I just hate myself after I play it.
Yeah, it's kind of gives me that feeling. You don't hear a lot of people talk about Chivalry 2. I love it. I love playing it. It's definitely goofy and fun, but like, yeah, I don't feel good after playing it
Yeah.
because it's an online multiplayer game and like it just kind of leaves me feeling empty inside and like I'm not good at video games, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess maybe Chivalry 2 would be my pick. I kind of I guess since we're trashing sports games, I like golf games a lot, actually.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of a guilty pleasure that not many people partake in. But yeah, I do enjoy golf video games.
Very good.
So there you go. And it seems like chat is in consensus that sports games stink.
Right.
Uh, and apparently during Game of the Year discussions, racing games are lumped in with sports. So it counts.
I would feel like that's like action adventure. Like they're two separate things of kind of the same coin.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Yeah,
I think that's all the questions, though, right?
I think so. Do we miss any?
That No, I think we got it all. I think
Okay.
we got it all.
Very good.
Last chance for questions, if you have any. But yeah, man, seriously, guys, we don't. It's funny. Anytime you read something that says like how to be a good podcaster, they say talk to your audience, and we don't typically do that. It's not something I'm very good at doing. Is like thanking people or shouting out our social media or whatever everybody says we should be doing. But yeah, it means the world to us that anybody tunes in to hear us every week, and it definitely means the world to us that you all came here and joined us tonight.
Yeah. No, this is overwhelming. I feel like it would have been a very different show if we were like, all right, well, no one's really in chat, so we're just gonna talk about whatever. But
Right.
I mean, this show wouldn't have existed with all the questions that we got in from people before and during chat. So we are very thankful for all of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have one final question,
Yes.
which I think we're not going to be the ones to answer it, but I do want to read it out. Where do babies come from?
Yes. Big
Storks.
question. That's right. Yep. Sometimes very expensive storks.
All right. I guess we got another question. Should we keep this going?
Yeah,
Or
sure thing, sure
all right.
thing.
Well, we'll answer this. What team of three from video games, I'm guessing 3 video game characters, would you assemble to fight Twitter? This comes from Colby, Colbster 17 Gaming.
Okay.
So you
So they
get
can be any like it doesn't have to be like the trio is already set. It's like we can pick from 3 different video games, basically, right?
Right.
Okay.
3 video game characters to fight
Fight Twitter. Oh man,
Yeah,
that is an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah.
Any 3.
Any 3.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of someone, like, obviously my mind goes to comic book characters who are in video games because I think of who would be intelligent enough to like actually combat Twitter. I want to pick somebody smart. Like those are great picks. John says Kratos, Solid Snake, and Joel. Great picks. But I was thinking someone like Reed Richards or Tony Stark because they could like have the witty comebacks. They would always have like the last word and like the best replies to things. And then you need the physical strength. So I actually would concur with John here and go Kratos.
Right.
And then you do need subterfuge. So Solid Snake is a pretty good pick there, right? Because you need somebody to get in to headquarters on the inside to take it down. So I'd actually go with like, I'm trying to think of spy Hitman, Agent 47.
Yeah.
To get inside and take care of that side of things. That's my 3. My 3
Okay.
would be Tony Stark to outsmart, witty replies, physical strength, like as backup whenever we needed him would be Kratos. And then you have Agent 47 for the subterfuge and invasion of headquarters.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do Aloy because she's the one who's gonna break into all these things, and she is the only one who can do it because everyone else is dumb. She's got the
focus.
The focus, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do Sonic because, he's super duper fast and can.
Yeah.
I feel like he could do a lot of stuff.
Except have a good video game. He could do a lot of stuff except have a good video game.
That's right. All right, so we got Sonic, we got Aloy. I need one more. I feel like Nathan Drake is my witty guy who can also like take a grenade to the face and then get up
kill
and
hundreds of people.
Be fine.
Yeah. We got some good picks in
no,
chat
Sully.
here.
I'm gonna do Sully instead.
Oh, Sully.
Yeah.
He could fly out of there.
Exactly.
If you need to.
Yeah, you gotta have a pilot.
Yeah. So Colby goes on to answer his question with Lester from GTA 5, who is like that tech guy, that guy in the chair. Really good pick. Tax evasion Yoshi?
Tax evasion.
Is this tax evasion Yoshi?
Yes.
All right. And and Kirby like could probably just eat Twitter, so that's
true.
fair. Play Along Pod says 3 separate links, and I think you're probably going to be on the right side of things with 3 separate links, actually.
Right.
But yeah, good picks, great questions. Are we doing our usual debrief?
Yeah, I got a debrief if you got a debrief.
I'm sure I could find a debrief.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
All right. So, my debrief, I'll go first. We've been watching a lot of this show, and it's a show that I've always liked, and this is my guilty pleasure show, I guess you could say, because you probably wouldn't peg me as really liking it, but it is Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Bum bum.
That's right.
I think we've actually talked about Law and Order and your love for it before. It came up on another when we were guesting on Play Cute Gamecast. I think.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, but yeah, we've been watching a lot of this show. It's like, I don't know. The episodes that we're watching are basically like, sometimes they're really far fetched, but then it's like, well, no, that's like real life now, and it's just really strange to see that happening.
Right. Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
how like what was once parody is now reality.
Exactly. Shout out to Detective Olivia Benson, Mariska Hargitay, great actress, and my man Ice-T. I love Ice-T. He is someone who, if we are going outside of the video games, he can combat Twitter, and I would love to have him on my team.
Very good.
Yes.
Mariska Hargitay?
That's right.
Is that the name, right? Ooh, wow, that's a tough one.
Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, good pick. I think everybody says I should watch Law and Order. Don't watch it. I have not watched it. So, maybe I'd like, I'm sure I would. I do like these procedural detective dramas.
As procedural as it gets.
Right. They could be fun for a while.
Exactly.
So my debrief is Last Night in Soho. I actually want to talk about Edgar Wright in general and his films. Are you familiar with Edgar Wright?
Nope.
So he did so he did like Baby Driver, I think is another one of his. I actually haven't seen Baby Driver, but he did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. It's called the Cornetto trilogy.
Right.
And all 3 of those movies, now that I have finally seen The World's End, are just phenomenal. I remember when like The World's End came out and people were like, oh, like it's all right.
Well, that other World End movie came out with Seth Rogen.
Right. Unrelated.
Right.
I finally got a chance to see The World's End with Simon Pegg, the Edgar Wright film, and man, it is really good, like hilarious, just as good as Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. That same type of humor, and it's great.
Totally.
And then they have another Edgar Wright movie on HBO Max, and it is Last Night in Soho. And I think this kind of got mixed reviews. I don't want to give away too much. It's about a girl who moves from the London countryside to the big city, from the English countryside to the big city in London. And it is cool in a lot of ways I didn't expect it to be. I didn't know a lot about the story. It throws you for a loop and goes places I did not expect. And I think I benefited from that. I didn't have any expectations going in. And I would say if you do watch Last Night in Soho, go in not knowing what you're going to see. And I think you'll get more enjoyment out of it because it has a lot of fun with its visual style and musical, like, what do they call it? Needle drops. Really cool movie though. Really interesting story. It's kind of a thriller. Yeah, if you haven't seen those 2 movies or any of Edgar Wright's movies, he's somebody to check out for sure. Sure. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. And that's our show. We are going to have a show next week, right?
We are going to have a show next week.
All
we
right.
have a guest coming on next week.
So we got Nick Rounds, right?
Yeah.
Game dev.
Yeah.
We're going to do our top rhythm games, which this is going to be challenging for me, but
it's going to be a challenge, but it's our top 5.
Yeah,
it's our top 5.
Reduce it a little bit. That'll help me out.
Yeah, it'll be a little easier, I think, to come up with 6 of them. Yeah. And the thing is, I can't make them all Guitar Hero.
Right.
Which is tough. Yeah.
Also,
so I think
I wouldn't be able to delineate any of the Guitar Heroes, so I would.
Right.
Yeah, if I put Guitar Hero, it would just be, I don't know, one of the Guitar Heroes.
Yeah. So Nick I believe he worked at Zynga at one time, and he is now a lead game designer at Monumental Games.
Sweet.
So we will have him on the show next week.
That'll be fun.
It should be a lot of fun.
Cool. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the
That's it.
podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and congratulations again to Zulgeek. We will be in touch for sure for those $100.
And
Cash.
not to keep going at it. Thank you everybody for joining us in the chat and being here, and thank you everybody who's ever listened over the last 2 years, and thank you Brian for hearing my voice every week and not getting tired of it, and hearing my terrible opinions too.
No, it's all great, man. I wouldn't want to spend it with anyone else, so thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah,
thank you for doing the socials and the audio and like everything else. And I'll keep doing the Twitch thing here.
You do a good job, man. You do a good job. All right. Well, without further ado, guys, have a good week.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye. I'll stop recording, but we could still stream if you want.
Recording stopped.
I actually wanted to say, John, I saw you